all of Trump's executive orders explained. Okay, so what exactly are executive orders? Imagine them as your mother saying, "Because I said so." A fresh rule is established as soon as the president signs a document. No deliberation, no asking Congress, simply done. Now Trump, he was a huge fan of executive orders. He had more than 220 of them autographed. Let's talk about some of his greatest hits in 2025. Return to work federal workers. Early in his new term, Trump signed an order to shrink the number of federal workers because, as he put it, big government is bad, efficiency is good. And who better to lead this effort than Elon Musk? Yes, the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and the social media site formerly known as Twitter is now in charge of a brand new agency called the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Yes, DOGE, because even the government loves a good meme. The new rule is simple. For every 4 federal workers who leave, only 1 new person can be hired. But don't worry, jobs in national security, public safety, and law enforcement are not affected. Supporters say this plan will cut waste, save taxpayers money, and make the government run smoother, like a Tesla on autopilot, hopefully without crashing. But critics aren't so sure. They worry that if too many workers leave and aren't replaced, important services could slow down or even stop. Imagine waiting even longer for a passport or government help after a disaster. Some even fear entire agencies could disappear, like one of Musk's rockets that didn't quite make it to space. And then there's the big question. Is Musk really the right person for this job? He's great at building cars, launching rockets, and making questionable tweets, but running the government is a whole different challenge. Will he make things better, or will this plan crash and burn? For now, all we can do is wait and see. Will the government become more efficient, or will it be a mess? Either way, one thing is certain, the US government now has an agency called DOGE, and that alone is pretty hilarious. Only male and female exist. In 2025, Trump signed an executive order declaring that the US government only recognizes 2 genders, male and female, strictly based on biological sex at birth. That means no more X gender markers on passports, no government forms with other options, and no recognition of non-binary or transgender identities in federal policies. His reasoning? According to Trump, science and common sense say there are only 2 sexes, and he wants federal agencies to reflect that. So, from now on, if you're filling out a government form, it's strictly M or F, no exceptions. This order also impacts federal funding, blocking support for programs that promote gender identity beyond male and female. Schools and organizations receiving federal money may have to follow these guidelines or risk losing funding. Of course, legal challenges are already rolling in. Activists and LGBTQ+ organizations are gearing up for a fight, and many expect courts to weigh in soon. TikTok ban 2.0. And just when people were still debating the whole only 2 genders thing, Trump decided to revisit another old favorite, banning TikTok. That's right, it's 2020 all over again, except this time, he's serious, or so he says. In his 2025 executive order, Trump declared that TikTok has 75 days to either sell to an American company or disappear from U.S. app stores. The reason? National security threats. He insists China is using TikTok to spy on Americans, collect data, and influence people. Though, let's be real, the only influence most people get on TikTok is whether to buy another Stanley Cup. As soon as the news dropped, chaos erupted. Teens scrambled to back up their dance videos, influencers panicked over their multi-million-dollar sponsorship deals, and tech billionaires started circling the app like sharks smelling blood. The app was briefly unavailable in the US on January 18th and 19th, causing widespread panic among users. However, service was restored after Trump delayed the ban. Microsoft, Oracle, and Elon Musk's X are all rumored to be interested in a buyout, because who wouldn't want control over the world's biggest source of unhinged trends? For now, everyone is holding their breath. Will TikTok actually get banned this year, or will history repeat itself? One thing's certain, Gen Z is about to riot. Restoring names. Trump has signed a new order called Restoring Names That Honor American Greatness, because why stop at making America great again when you can also rename things along the way? First up, Denali, North America's tallest mountain, is going back to its old name, Mount McKinley, because apparently 100 years of history with a presidential name beats thousands of years of native tradition. Denali, meaning the High One, has been the name used by Native Alaskans for centuries, but now it's once again honoring President William McKinley, who, fun fact, never actually visited Alaska. So history is being restored, depending on whose history you're looking at. And then there's the Gulf of Mexico, which is getting a patriotic upgrade. It will now be called the Gulf of America. This is meant to emphasize America's presence in the region, though it might come as a surprise to, Mexico and Cuba, and basically every other country that borders the Gulf. Supporters say it's a bold move for national pride, while critics wonder if this is like renaming your neighbor's backyard your extra lawn. These changes have sparked plenty of debate. Should old names be brought back to honor history, or should names reflect deeper cultural and historical accuracy? One thing's for sure, maps will need updates, GPS systems are in for a rough time, and somewhere a very confused geography teacher is sighing heavily. Trump's Health for All plan. Lastly, we have Trump's big move on healthcare. Yes, you read that right. In 2025, he signed an executive order launching the Health for All initiative, aiming to lower prescription drug prices and expand telehealth services. Because, let's be honest, no one likes paying a fortune for medicine, and if we can stream movies instantly, why not doctor visits too? Supporters are cheering this as a huge win for everyday Americans, saying it could save billions and make healthcare more accessible. Imagine getting a checkup without leaving your couch. No waiting rooms, no awkward small talk, just medical advice and maybe a snack break in between. Of course, critics are skeptical, wondering if such a bold plan can actually work. But if Trump has proven anything, it's that he's not afraid to shake things up. If this initiative delivers, even his biggest doubters might have to admit this as a good idea. So, will this be the healthcare revolution America has been waiting for? Time will tell, but for now, cheaper meds and easier doctor visits sound like a win. And if nothing else, at least we won't have to take out a second mortgage to buy allergy pills. Outro. Trump's executive orders were like his tweets, loud, controversial, and impossible to ignore. Some changed history, some got thrown out, and some made us all go, wait, what? Whether you loved him or hated him, you have to admit his time in office was never boring. There is little doubt that presidents will continue to use executive orders, and whenever they do, there will be debates over them. Because that's politics, and that, my friends, is democracy.